Hey guys, Bob the Canadian here, back with an endgame for you. So this one is from the Lords of Middle-earth League playoff between myself and Master James. So winner goes straight to the final. The loser goes to play against Prince Fox, and then the winner of that game goes to face Mr. James in the final. So this is, I don't know, kind of a semifinal, kind of a quarterfinal. I don't know. Anyway, so we did the bidding, and it's a really weird for Lords of Middle-earth because there's so little statistics on how to do it with tokens, because usually you play it without tokens. So I don't know. I still feel more comfortable with Shadow anyway, so I offered him 2 tokens for Shadow, and here we are. So I skipped through the first game because I'm trying to just make these videos shorter so they're a little more palatable for more people. So anyway, I'm Shadow. You could say I have Gothmog and the Black Captain and Saruman. The Balrog already came and was plucked off with a Will of the West when he came to help crack open Rivendell. So we did take Rivendell, although he did get to use the Elrond ability to help the Fellowship move faster. So this is the start of turn 5 right here. And I just finished. Yeah, he just used the Elrond die to move more. Oh, no, I guess that was last. What did happen here? Anyway, Elrond's dead now, but he got his die used to move the Fellowship a little bit more. So here we are. So I got to play New Power is Rising, so that army is besieging Helm's Deep here. So 3-5-5 against a 3-1-1. Pretty good odds for that going well anyway. But after that, I'm only up to 4 points, and the Fellowship is 2 steps away. You will notice Gandalf the White is still not here. There's been a relative Will of the West shortage for him. Gimli's out there in Erebor, making the Dew line very unappetizing for me. Elves are at war. Rohan is almost at war. Gondor is not at war and not bolstered up at all right now, so I'm definitely looking that way anyway. Okay, so that was last turn that Elrond used the ring to move again, so we're actually just about to roll dice for turn 5 to see what happens here. Okay, so not fantastic for me, not terrible though. He has his 2 movement anyway, which is enough to get into Mordor this turn. If I had Crowweather, there'd be a little more of a question here, but I don't have Crowweather anyway. So naturally, oh no, right, he still wants to bring in Gandalf. So yeah, committing to using the ring. So there's Gandalf the White. I muster a Warg in there because normally I think that if you're committing to sending your army out, you should be okay with Saruman just dying. But on the other hand, I have 3 musters here. 2 of them I want to get the Southrons and Easterlings to war, but what am I going to do with that 3rd muster? So I might as well try to protect Saruman with that, I think, because he only has 2 character cards in hand. It turns out neither of them are Ent cards, but I didn't know that. So I was thinking if only one of them is an Ent card, there is a good chance, actually, more or less 50-50, then that 1 Ent card won't kill Saruman there. So anyway, that was my thinking there. He moves the Fellowship and gets hit, and it's a 1 reveal, which is... If corruption was anywhere close to an issue, I would be thrilled about that, but it's super not. The Fellowship has been not hit very much. Like, they're 1 step away from Mordor. All they've lost is Gandalf. Gimli was separated, and this is the first corruption they're taking past that. So it's a wonderful day in the neighborhood for the Fellowship. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. That's it. So anyway, and of course that allows him to use this other token here to go last and then use that ring to move. Whereas if he hadn't been revealed, he would be vulnerable to Crowweather this whole time. So now at least I know to not bother trying to cycle character cards to get Crowweather because he's already safe from it. Anyway. Right, I'm up to the Southrons and Easterlings down. I decided to play Breaking here because I realize if I pull out Smeagol, then... Smeagol becomes the guide, and then he can't use the Strider ability to hide anymore, so that would actually delay him by a whole turn. So it's a 3, which is, okay if corruption's going to be a thing. Like, it's still pretty safe for him anyway. But yeah. Okay, so I pivot leadership, and I remember he asked me about this later, why I bothered putting the Witch King here. I specifically am really, at this point, I'm kind of planning on being Rivendell and the South 8, because I have, this army, this army, this army, this army. Like, that should be enough to get these 8 points, right? So I'm really hoping to just cycle strategy cards. That's why I have the Witch King here, so I can hopefully draw into Corsairs. I've been focusing the strategy deck a bit. It's still 16 cards, but that's, the smallest out of the 4 decks for sure. And let's see. Also, just the extra leadership on the Isengard army, because these as I press the attack, the what do you call it? Leadership will whittle itself down. So having a little extra leadership is nice anyway. Okay, I decided to attack North Athelion. Right, that was also a part of the plan, was bringing that leadership so that I can successfully kill all these companions. Because they're with this regular here in North Athelion, that means I could actually kill them in battle, and then they can't escape off to Minas Tirith, where they would actually make the combat very difficult. So I don't have any swarming bats, so I was a little worried he'd have scouts, but he doesn't have scouts. He does have a sudden strike, though, so that's pretty strong. He gets one hit with it, and I decided to take no hits. I don't know. I'm not sure why I played that card. I guess I was going to have to throw out cards anyway. So I get my one hit. He gets 2 hits back. So I'm glad to see those companions off the table. They took a few orcs out with them, though. So now he plays You Know the Way there. So yeah, I say, thank God I didn't play this earlier. Yeah, it would have been, that would have been tragic if he'd played that and then I'd pulled Spiegel with the breaking. Oh, that would have been funny. Okay, so off we go for Helm's Deep. I'm cycling character cards. I guess I want to keep up the pretense that I'm looking for cool weather, or maybe I just had a good character card to play. Oh, it's a Devil Reborn thing, probably. Yeah, I guess the advantageous position, that works perfectly. Yeah, that's another 3 hits. This happened earlier. I don't remember what. I think it was against a Desperate Battle or something that he played in advantageous position, and I rolled 3 5s that I canceled, so that felt bad. Okay, I don't press, and there we are. So he uses the token to successfully dodge Cruel Weather. I finish mustering the Southrons and Easterlings. Then he uses Galadriel's Ring to move, and is safe. Okay, so I chalk Wormtongue naturally. I didn't see if he had to chuck a card or not. Okay, so he's off into Mordor. He rolls only 1 movement, though, so that's good news for me. So he moves, and it's Spiegel. So that is also good news. Like he says, about expected. Like you would expect Spiegel to show up sooner or later anyway. Like he hasn't been hit a lot, though. Like, what's in the Hunt Use pile? There was an I and a 3 and a 2, you know. So that's a little bit lucky, but yeah, well, it's going to happen. Okay, so I drop Grond on Helm's Deep here, and I open with Weak Up to Kill. Another 0 hits. He's kind enough to roll 0 hits back, though. So the post gets 2 hits. No card. I get 1 hit. He gets 1 hit. No card. I get 1 hit. He gets no hits. So, okay. So ends Helm's Deep, and I'm up to 4 points. Yay. Yeah, Rivendell really stalled out. Yeah, I'm at minus 12 on 6's and plus 7 on 5. So that's the Hunt and that's the Rivendell Siege for you right there. Yeah, it just if that siege had gone faster and like the tempo was a little bit ahead, this would be feeling pretty good for me. But yeah, it's not great anyway. Okay, so he used Wisdom of Elrond to move Gondor a step towards war. I guess he's hoping to get Dol Amroth mustered up before I draw into Corsairs. Yeah, so I move along to finish off the rest of Rohan. He draws a card. Yep, I take out Rohan. I specifically leave a warg here in West Emnet because I'm worried about the Elves of Lorien coming down and trying to liberate Helm's Deep. Or maybe a Gondor army sneaking past me, so that's why I like to leave a unit there, you know. And obviously I had to take Edoras with 1. That's also why this army's moving out here, just to make it less appetizing. So, like, if all this army except 1 regular moves out, they might get Helm's Deep, but 1 regular won't defend against this army, probably. So, anyway, like, they're not really going to do anything. They're just they're really protecting Helm's Deep is what they're doing there. Okay, he finishes mustering Gondor. Nope, thinks about it. He does muster Gondor to war, yeah. Okay, so I bring in the Mouth. He brings it. He puts File Galadriel in there. I attack Osgiliath. He scouts his way to Druiden Forest and then musters up in Minas Tirith, and I put Minas Tirith under siege. So that's all pretty straightforward. The dice blink at me because they don't like the alternate Mouth. Okay, but in 1 eye, and I roll no more. Very happy to see that. He rolls 3 movements, so that's decent. Yeah, so as the shadow player, you really got to ask yourselves questions at this point. The question is, can I win this turn? So he has 3 movements and no rings. So even if he lost down all the way to There's Another Way, he doesn't have a Palantir to play it. So I don't know, unless he played 3 rings for the Elven Kings and got back... No, there's no Elrond anyway, so never mind. That doesn't work either. So never mind. It is impossible for him to win this turn. But with 3 movement and Strider still to come back as guide, it's quite possible he's winning next turn. So I need to ask the question, can I win this turn? And if so, how do I do it? So I took quite a while thinking here. All right, he also took a bit of time thinking and moved and got a 0 reveal. So I think I remember looking in the hunt pool and that's actually the best result for me because, yeah, anything else, he could kill Smeagol and then he'd be back to Strider and could be using these other dice to hide. But the 0 reveal does not give him the option of killing Smeagol. So he has to spend one of his character dice to hide again with that. So that's the double-edged sword of Smeagol is that he's really good for, like getting to move and not get hit with Smeagol that time, but then he can block, Strider or Gandalf from using their ability sometimes. Okay, so I attacked Druid Enforced from the Witch King. I think I determined that, just having these Palantirs here, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attacks, 7 with a ring anyway, and it wasn't quite enough probably for this army to run to Dol Amroth and crack it, and for this army to get to Minas Tirith and help crack it. So I think the plan at this point is that I'm hoping to redraw into Corsairs. And so this army's going to come and help blow up Minas Tirith. This army's going to walk over and take Pelargir, and then I'm going to get Corsairs and win that way, is the plan at this point anyway. So I use Great Host. He uses advantageous position. I get my 1 hit. He does not get a hit back. I mainly just wanted to, cycle strategy cards because the plan is to draw into Corsairs at this point. So he musters up in Dol Amroth. Right, yeah, this was the part where I took an insane amount of thinking, and maybe in hindsight I should have done something different here. But to say what I should have done differently was kind of to spoil what's going to happen. So, okay, so he draws a strategy card. I move leadership. Right. He musters again in Dol Amroth. I use the alternate mouth's ability to attack Minas Tirith. Yeah, I thought about playing Devilry of Orthanc here, but I specifically think I need to use those Palantirs as much as I can to try to draw into Corsairs. Because that's, again, I really need to try to win this turn. So I think the plan at this point was with this die, I was going to finish blowing up Minas Tirith. I get a free press from the mouth and 4 elites to press down more and more. And then one of these attacks is for Osgiliath to attack Pelargir, and then... Since I already moved leadership here, hopefully I draw into Corsairs, play Corsairs, and attack once, and finish off Dol Amroth, and I get to 10 points. That's the plan, anyway. So, okay, Devilry of Orthanc. He played no card, huh? Big 6 cards. Okay, I guess he's holding on to his better cards because he wants to protect Dol Amroth with them. I think that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I get 1 hit. He gets 3 back. Not the best start I could have asked for. My press... yeah, that happens sometimes. If you play against me, there's a decent chance that I'm at work and I'm going to get distracted. So sorry about that. Okay, so I smacked down a Deadly Strife because, I don't know, I have 2 of them and I do need this siege to go well right now. I need to win it anyway. Maybe I should have played Fear of Their Masters instead. I don't know. Anyway, I get 4 hits. That's good. He also gets 4 hits. Okay, so I press some more, and I think now I'm playing Fear of Their Masters. Yeah, right, because I wanted to wait for his army to be smaller, so there's less odds of rolling 6s. So I get my hits. He gets 3 hits back, but that doesn't really matter. That army's not going anywhere. Okay, so I draw strategy cards because, again, that's the plan, is I want to pick up Corsairs. I still don't get it. Yeah, so that was the last chance. That was the last draw where I had a chance to still get Corsairs. Because if I do use it to get Corsairs, then I have it, but I only have 2 dice. So 1 to take Pelargir, 1 to play Corsairs, and then I'm out of dice. So, attack Pelargir now anyway. I'm not entirely sure why I'm doing that now. Anyway, I did it. Maybe I want to scare him? I don't know. So he hides the Fellowship, and I chuck in Shelob now because might as well have the red tile in there. That gives me a little bit more hope, He moves again, and it's an eye. So it's a 2 reveal. Smeagol goes out. I think that makes sense because you want to have Strider's ability back for hiding and moving more next turn. And I move armies towards Dol Amroth the old-fashioned way. So he says, no Corsairs, huh? Unlike, let's say, I will admit nothing. Like, it's like, yeah, nah, of course I don't have Corsairs. If I had Corsairs, I would have smacked it down by now for sure. Okay, so he gets, there's another way in the red arrow. Ooh, there's another way. That's a clutch pickup right there. That's very nice. Okay, I pick up Shadow Lengthens and Palantir. So he has to pick which ones to throw out. I think I would throw out tough stuff. Probably the red arrow, because what do you need scouts for at this point? And probably Book of Mazarbel, maybe Dane, actually. Kind of depends on what you want from your combat. At this point, the plan is definitely just win this turn, right? Like you have Strider, you just need to roll 2 movement. That's all. And not hit Shelob out of this massive hunt pool. Well, okay, and it's not that massive now that the Smeagol is left, but it's still pretty big. So yeah, anyway. So yeah, he chucks scouts and yeah, tough choices. And he chucks there's another way. Wild. Okay, I would have kept that just in case, you do actually get down to Gollum somehow. To be fair, I guess it's unlikely you're going to get there, but I don't know. I would have chucked Book of Mazarbel before I checked that anyway. But that's actually one of the things I really appreciate about playing with Mr. James is that he's a top tier player, and I think out of the other top tier players, I'm being arrogant enough to assume that I'm top tier, quote unquote. I don't know. I think I'm okay at this game anyway. Anyway, that him and I think surprisingly differently about this game. Which I love. I think that's actually really cool about this game is that you can both be pretty good players and still disagree about what the right move is. I think that's a real mark of the creativity in this game. Like sometimes there is a correct move, like in chess, where it's like there's just a best move to find sometimes, but a lot of the time there isn't. Anyway, I got to put in 1 eye and I roll 3 more. Which is a bummer hummer for sure. Galadriel puts in an eye as well. Oh, right. I remember how much I hate this game. Just if I hadn't rolled so many eyes or if I'd picked up Corsairs, this would feel pretty in the bag. So the good news is I have Day Without Dawn. And the fact that he's revealed with Strider right now means that if he uses one of these other dice to hide, then I can use Day Without Dawn and take away both these Wills of the West, and then he only has 1 movement. If he had 2 character dice, he'd be fine, but he only has 1 character dice and no rings. So, I can see right now that he can't win this turn. So he doesn't know that because he doesn't know whether I have Day Without Dawn or not yet. But it's pretty likely because the deck is pretty small. So anyway, yeah, he understands exactly the annoying pressure of Day Without Dawn here. So, so he specifically reminds me to mention this was another interesting choice that happened earlier. When I was besieging Rivendell, he had a Will of the West and Gandalf was gone. So he had to pick between either bringing Gandalf the White or using that Will of the West to kill the Balrog before I got to attack Rivendell with it. / before he moved the Fellowship with it too. So he was also preventing potential extra draws there. So anyway. So after saying that we've been thinking for a bit, he says, I kind of have a decision already. I just don't want to do it. And that is very much how this game works. So he musters in Dol Amroth with that Will of the West, which I think is absolutely correct. Because if I have Day Without Dawn, he can't win this turn. If I don't have Day Without Dawn, he doesn't really need that second Will of the West. So that makes me think I don't need to play Day Without Dawn right now. Because he's going to hide with a muster first while Strider's still guide anyway. Okay, so I attack Dol Amroth. Actually, I reconsider for a while because if there was even 1 better dice here, I could go for the 4 cities and I'd have good odds of pulling it off. That being said, this is why he hung on to Book of Mazarbel. I was just looking at it as a combat card, but that actually gives him a lot of power for being able to get the dwarfs quick to war and defend Dale. There was a decent shot at getting all 4 cities here, especially with Shadow Lengthens here, move 2 Shadow armies up to 2 regions, right? Like I could bring this army from Rivendell and this army from Mount Gundabad over here, or maybe to Weather Hills. I don't know. Anyway, there's hope of getting the Shire and getting Dale. Because I just need those 2 more points, and it's very unlikely this army is going to be able to come out and fight past to get to Pelargir. So, yeah. But anyway, if the dwarves could come to war and come and fight me for it, then it would be certainly close, especially because the elves are at war there too. Anyway, would have been dicey. Would have been on the table, though, if I'd had more dice. Okay, so I carry on with the plan, attacking Dol Amroth. He hides the Fellowship, and now I got to play Day Without Dawn. Otherwise, he has a very good shot at just winning the game right now. Yeah. So he moves the Fellowship, and it's a 1. If it had been an I, that would have been great. Or obviously Shelob would have been even better. But oh well, it's a 1. Yeah. So I have 4 dice left to get 2 points from the board. If I get 2 points, I win. If I don't, he almost definitely wins next turn. So I move my leadership over. I remember him saying that he was surprised that I didn't do it the other way, and I was a little confused about that. Because naturally, of course, I'd want to put leadership on it first, wouldn't I? Maybe he meant doing something else first. Anyway, so I'm attacking Dol Amroth, of course, hoping to be able to cycle strategy cards here, right? So which one am I playing? Am I playing Onslaught? I think I'm playing Onslaught. Yeah, every now and then you got to take a second and look at the statistics and mourn for a little bit. Yeah, minus 14 on 6's it just feels really bad. Yeah. Right. He's head sec because he was taking a while thinking about which combat card to play. And and that's why I'm promising, don't worry, it's okay. I won't hit you. It's fine. Okay, so now we use Book of Mizarble, and I played Onslaught. Because again, the hope anyway was that I'm going to redraw into, what do you call it? That I'm going to redraw into Corsairs. So then I can burn through these regulars because I have reinforcements coming anyway, is the thought. So I get 0 hits. As expected. He also gets 0 hits, which is nice anyway. So I don't take any hits from the Onslaught, which feels bad, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess at this point, I'm also kind of hoping that just with the free mouth press, maybe I can get lucky with my cards and these, what do you call it? Maybe with these 9 regulars, I can take out the Stronghold myself. I might have to try that if I don't draw into Corsairs, right? So, okay. So no hits, free press. I draw into Desperate Battle, which is a good card. It's just not Corsairs, though. So now I play a character card, so obviously Cruel as Death. He plays Valor. So I get 1 hit, and he gets also 1 hit. So that's fine. I try attacking Dol Amroth again, and I'm quite sure I'm playing a... So I thought about playing half orcs here, because that would give me an extra round of combat and more hit points to burn through, but at the same time getting that that extra strategy card redraw. Just that shot at getting to bring in all these extra troops and the extra combat rounds from the Oliphants would be nice anyway. So anyway, I think we're doing Desperate Battle first here. Yeah. So I get 2 hits, and he gets 3. So I do my free press. Right, so now I've drawn into Desperate Battle, and now I know for a fact that, there's no... What do you call it? There's no Santa Claus. There's no Corsairs. So I have 3 more combat rounds to make 5 regulars win against 5 regulars. So I think to myself, you know what? Might as well play Deadly Strife now while I'm at least rolling 5 dice. And, hope for the best. So Deadly Strife against No Quarter. And, of course, now I roll the 6's. This is also was a frustrating thing in the game. Every time I played not Desperate Battle or Deadly Strife, I'd roll those 5s. And whenever I played Deadly Strife or Desperate Battle, then I rolled 3s, 1s and 2s and 3s. So I only get 2, so that doesn't feel great. But he only gets 2. Oh, no, 3 because of the Deadly Strife. Plus 1 from No Quarter, so 4 hits. So now I can't win. Even if I attack and don't get hit and get a hit both times, that's still only 2 hits, and that's not enough. So that's probably GG. He musters the dwarves down to war because, I don't know. And now I play half-orcs there just because I'm worried about him sortieing and might as well stay alive and maintain the siege for next turn. And now I pick up Corsairs. Just classic this game taunting you, you know. Okay, so he picks up a couple cards. I roll 1 eye, and he rolls 3 Wills of the West. So, yeah, can you imagine if I had it again? Yeah, it would be funny. So he drops Mithril Coat and Sting, which I think is correct. The only way, it doesn't really matter. If he moves, anything wins except Shelob, and even if Shelob hits him with a 6, kill Strider 3, then I move again, and I need to put in another red tile. But this way, anyway, even if I put in another, I need to put another red tile to have 1 in, however so small chance of winning. And I don't have a red tile, so that's it. So I just draw a character card, and he moves, and it's a 0 reveal. So, yeah, that's it. Yep, so congrats to Mr. James. Certainly well played on his part. I definitely am going to cry about my luck for a bit, though. Like, minus 15 on 6's, Corsairs being so far down in the deck. To be fair, he definitely also had bad luck. I think he had more of his bad luck earlier on, just with a lack of movement. Or did he? I can't even remember anymore. Well, he turned out okay in the end anyway. Plus 1 on wills, minus 1 on characters, so that's about even. So yeah, anyway, it was a good game. Looking forward to my game against Prince Fox and hopefully seeing him in the finals. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one.